Hi, I'm Louise the poet, and I wrote a little story for little Amal that not everyone got to hear because of the rain. It's still raining here. And I thought I'd share it with you now, if that's okay. So, a little bird whispered a story into my ear. It was a seagull, to be precise, and I wrote it down in here. I wonder if this story's true. Maybe you can decide. This is the story of how little Amal got so tall. Once upon a time, there was a little girl called Amal. She lived in a beautiful country called Syria, a place of snow-capped, majestic mountains, a place of hot, dry deserts and green forests, a place of ancient cities and ancient civilizations, a centre for travellers and human migration, full of churches and chapels and mosques, full of streets and shops and souks. A souk is a bit like Wigan Market, selling everything from silk fabrics to fruit, from tablecloths to jasmine perfume. In fact, selling everything you could ever want, bit like Amazon, but in person. There were three things that made little Amal a little bit different to most other children. The first thing is Amal can talk to the birds. When she first opened her mouth to speak, her first word was ummi. That's mummy in Arabic. She loved her mummy very much, but when she opened her mouth to speak, her second words were chip chip, chip chip. When little Amal began to speak, she spoke to the birds, chip chip, chip chip, and the birds, they talked back. How wonderful is that? And they were happy. Mum, little Amal, and the birds, never imagining things would change for the worse. It is important to know that lots of Syrians do not like the word war. So we might call the time of Amal's birth a time of unrest, years of fear and fighting, where millions of people fled north and east and west, when people were scared of gunshots and bombs, buildings fell down, and the everyday happy way of life was gone. And the unrest went on and on and on. Little Amal, she just wanted to go to school to learn and see her friends. Little Amal just wanted the troubles to end. But it wasn't safe to stay in the place she loved and knew as home. So one day they ran away, little Amal and her mum. And they walked, 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 and they walked. So one day they ran away, little Amal and her mum, scared for their lives. They walked along miles to the Turkish border to try and escape and survive. But something went wrong. The soldiers arrived. Mum was taken to an unknown place, far away, and little Amal was left behind, all alone. Earlier on, I said there were three things about little Amal that made her different to most other children. Number one, she can speak to the birds. Number two, little Amal is really, really, really tall. Look at her, there in Wigan. You can see she's a big one. She's huge. She's as big as a block of flats. It's like she wants to touch the sky, to be close to the birds as they fly. Now I'm going to tell you why. Little Amal wasn't always this tall. When Amal lost her mum, she knew in her bones she had a hard task ahead of her. Amal went to the souk to see if she could buy some hope for the long journey ahead, but you can't buy bravery or hope at a supermarket. There was no one to ask for help except for the birds. So Amal asked the northern lapwing, "Have you seen my mum?" "No," said the lapwing, "but winter is coming and in winter we fly west. Maybe your mum is there." "Birds can fly," said Amal, "but I can only walk. I am too small. It will take me forever." The lapwing offered her a breadcrumb of hope, and the strangest thing happened. Amal ate the breadcrumb of hope, and it began to grow and grow and grow. She began to grow and grow and grow until she was as tall as Uncle Joe, a child the size of a fully grown adult in a top hat. How mint is that? How Alice in Wonderland is that? So Amal walked through Turkey, but she didn't find her mum. And she walked through Greece, but she didn't find her mum. In Greece, Amal asked the grey-lag geese, "Have you seen my mum?" "No," said the geese, "but winter is coming. And in winter we fly west. Maybe your mum's there." "Birds can fly," said Amal, "but I can only walk. I am still too small. It will take me forever." A goose offered her a breadcrumb of hope, and the strangest thing happened. Amal ate the breadcrumb of hope and began to get taller and taller and taller until she was as tall as an autumn tree. "Look at me, birds. If you want to rest, you could build a nest in me." And only with a smile and a belly full of hope, Amal continued to search. And just as Syrians are famous for weaving patterns into cloth, so little Amal began to weave a pattern of steps across the map. And across the world, on phones and on TV, people like you and me began to watch her do that. She walked and 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 she walked. Amal walked and walked looking for her mum. She walked through Italy. Her feet got so sore. She walked through France. Do you know anyone else who's walked that far? She walked through Switzerland. She didn't catch a plane. She didn't drive a car. She's only 10. She can't drive. She walked through Germany. Sometimes she didn't understand all the different language in the countries where she walked. She walked through Belgium with no teddy, no bed, no bedroom to call her own. And now she is here, still searching for what has been lost. She has walked almost 5,000 miles and still hasn't found her mum. But in all of the 8 countries she has walked, she has asked the birds to help her search, and each bird, from cormorant to crow, from parrot to penguin, from eagle to seagull, has given Amal a breadcrumb of hope to eat. And now we see her over 11 feet tall. Little Amal is no longer that small. She has grown big and strong on hope. And do you remember when I told you there are 3 things about little Amal that makes her different to most other children? 1, she can speak to the birds. Cheep, cheep, cheep. 2, little Amal is really, really, really tall. 3, it's a little bit of a sad one. When Amal lost her mum, she seemed to lose her voice. Yes, she can speak to the birds, but she doesn't speak to humans anymore. Listen, can you hear her? She hasn't said a word while she's been here. I hope her voice has not been squashed by fear. I hope she's not shy because her accent is different than mine. I hope she's not shy because she doesn't feel welcome. Amal, you are welcome here. We will help you stand up for yourself. We will be friends. Amal's story isn't finished yet. I can't tell you what happens at the end. She's still searching and hoping to find her mum. I wonder if her mum is waiting in Wigan. And when she finds her, maybe then she'll speak to humans again and not just the birds. Maybe Amal will find her human words. I hope so. Children like Amal need someone to speak up for them. If you would like to help children like Amal, you can go on the WART website and donate. Or if you've not much money, you can just be kind and welcoming to everyone you meet, because they too may not be able to speak the story. On my phone and on the TV, I saw the story of a little refugee. In Arabic, Amal means hope. I saw her on a rust blue boat. I saw her watching sunrise calm. I saw her watching rain like bombs. I think I saw her in a camp of tents. I wonder where her family went. I saw her watch a dance of hope. I saw her get a blessing from the Pope. I saw her birthday counting stars. I saw them throw things at her from cars. I saw them spitting horrible words. I dream she's borderless like birds. I dream of helping her. I'd like to welcome her with welcoming arms and welcoming words. In Arabic, Amal means hope. Little Amal and one big hope. Thank you for listening, and good luck, Amal, on your search, and good luck every other refugee that needs some help.